Hello everybody. Have you ever had an issue when your parents criticized you for the way you look or for the music you listen to? Like, raise your hand if you had a similar situation. Okay, yeah, most of you have that thing. That's cool. So today, nowadays, we have a movement called hip hop. That's about music, and a lot of people tend to think that hip hop is bad, and for some reason, nobody notices the good sides of it. Another thing to talk about is how our parents and the older generation, what do they think about it? So, and why do they criticize us for listening to that kind of music? So, briefly, hip hop. Sometimes they contain hip hop songs contain a lot of cussing, drugs, criminal, but that's just a song. The good sides of it is that a lot of rappers, a lot of listeners, they're all around the world. So basically, the whole hip hop thing, brings the unification, I would say, around the world. So since a lot of people listen to hip hop around the world, here in US, in Europe, Asia, they all listen to hip hop, and they most likely to have the similar interests and the similar stars and yeah, so on. So another thing is that hope. For example, according to impact of rap music on youths.weebly.com, hope is one of the greatest good sides of hip hop. So, for example, Eminem here, he's a world famous rapper. I would even say that he is the best rapper in the world that has ever been on this planet, you know. And he grew up in a poor neighborhood, very poor neighborhood. He was struggling all of his life, and now he's a world famous star. And that might give a hope. That example might give a hope to a lot of people who live in poor communities, so they have a hope of becoming something like Eminem. Another thing is simplicity. According to the conversation.com, hip hop music is very simple. It's very easy to make it. It's very easy to sing. It's very easy to come up with the lyrics and ideas, and people just like it. You know, they like the vibe and stuff. So another example for that is Billie Eilish. She's 17 years old, and she was just singing in her house and playing songs with her brother, and now she's a world famous star. Again, just simplicity. So another thing is that a good side of it is charity. A lot of rappers who grew up in those poor neighborhoods, and they see all those people in the poor neighborhoods who can't get out from those communities, they start raising charity money to support those communities. For example, Jay-Z, who raps about drugs and criminal, of course he cusses a lot, but he's believed to be the rapper who donated the most money to the charity funds. So next thing to talk about is how our parents treat that kind of music and that kind of movement. So that's an interesting thing, because a lot of the older generation, they had the similar problem when they were young. When our parents were in their 20s, when they were teens, like 15 years old and older, so they had their own music. They had rock music, they had disco music, and most likely they were criticized for that, because their generation, their parents, they did not accept that kind of music. So that's the same thing that our parents do not accept hip hop music, because it has something different from the music they like. And that's some sort of a cycle. So what I want you to do, guys, is that when you have your kids, I mean, I can see that you all are young here, right? And nobody's like over 40 or 30. So when you have your kids, and when there will be a new generation, when they will have something similar to hip hop music, just do not criticize them, because you right now you're experiencing the same situation. We are experiencing the same situation. Maybe you don't listen to hip hop music, but a lot of people do, and they're being criticized for that. So when there is a new generation, when our kids grow up, and they will have their own movement. Believe me, they'll have their own way of looking. They'll have their own music to listen to, and you might try to criticize them, but do not. That's very important. So, thank you for listening.